It is the shortest verse in the English Bible. Today, on the Wednesday, April 27, 2022 edition of the Bible, Delight in the Details, we will look at that verse. I'm J. Lenora Bressler, and welcome to today's edition of the Bible, Delight in the Details. In John chapter 11, verse 35, we see this short verse, Jesus wept. The context is the death of his good friend Lazarus and the grief of the sisters of Lazarus, his very good friends, and the community around Lazarus, and this very good man. Jesus has deliberately waited to come. Lazarus has been sick, and the two sisters are bereft of their dearly loved brother and a little confounded by the fact that they felt that if Jesus had hurried, he could have saved him. And Jesus asks Mary if she believes that he is the resurrection and the life. And she says that she does. And he is taken by Mary and Martha at his request to the tomb of Lazarus. And there, before he raises Lazarus from the dead, something he surely knew that he was going to do because he was fulfilling prophecy in so doing, the Bible tells us that he wept. Now, why did he weep? I mean, he knew that within moments he was going to bring Lazarus back to life, to die again someday. He was not raising him to everlasting life, not yet. But why did he weep when he knew the result was only moments away? Because the full reality of what it means to be a human being facing death or facing the death of a loved one is a quintessential human experience. So many times we think of children who have yet to experience that, but many of us as children did experience the death of someone very close to us. I dare say many of us remember very vividly the first time we even saw a corpse or was told of the death of someone that we loved. There is something that is earth-shattering about it. And Jesus understands the grief, the sorrow, the questioning, the not knowing how do we move forward? How do we live in this new reality? And Jesus allowed the full impact of those human emotions that we all go through, to settle upon him in that moment. He looked around at his dearly loved friends who were grieving and who at that point, they were still faithful, but they were unsure of how to proceed. How many times have we stood before a casket? How many times have we stood in a sick room not knowing when and if God was going to act? My friends, Jesus understands. He understands the grief, the loss. And even if you can say, as Mary and Martha could, that they knew that Lazarus would one day be resurrected in another time, another place, it was still grieving of the moment. Jesus understands, and he stands with us just as he stood with them, and he grieves with us. He understands. Isaiah said that he is a man of sorrows, acquainted with grief. This doesn't mean that Jesus goes around sad all the time, but it does mean that he has the appropriate human feelings about loss. My friends, it is a glorious thing to have a God, to have a Savior who loves us so much that he willingly participates in our grief. What a God. I'm J. Lenora Bressler. Visit me on the next edition of the Bible, Delight in the Details. Have a great day.